So here we are at Montgisard. Sorry. Gizzard. It's like Squizzards. Anyway, I still love that name. I'm never going to be able to pronounce it. So I moved the crusading infantry into place to help provide something of a defensive line there. Now we get to see what the light cav can do, and I still think it's over. First of all, the cav has a rear and the infantry has a rear. It's going to get shot to shit. We'll see what happens. We've already seen examples in the previous battle, Haran, where we're going to see what I'm going to be doing, which is just skimming through and shooting my way and moving into here. And what's worse is that's going to put me between the Crusader army and their banner, which there's just no way to protect your banner with a force this size and the kind of mobility that that the Turks, well, that the Saracens are going to show here. We'll call them Saracens. So I don't know what they are. They're not really Turks, that's for sure. They're Ayyubids. Alright, but the Crusaders called them Saracens, and I feel rather Crusadish. Well, the actual effect on the Crusaders was fairly light. A couple more retired units. That's not bad at all. Nothing killed. They've swung around, and they're now behind them, but they lost the initiative attempt. They tried to bring this this command into play, which actually was kind of, this is medium cav. I'm not sure they really wanted that. They probably wanted this one, but either way, they couldn't have brought either one in. They might have been able to bring Saladin himself into play, but I think he's just a pile of points waiting to happen. If the Crusaders can get to Saladin's troops and start whacking them, boy, I think things are going to be ugly. So now comes the hard question, which is, what do I do with the Crusaders? Do I rally, which gets me 3 points back? Now, 15 is where I'm heading, and I got to actually break that 15 naturally. There's no die rolls on me. So that, maybe this isn't the time yet. So what about here? The infantry's harder to activate, but there aren't a lot of them left. And my crossbowmen's disordered. These guys are men-at-arms. If I plow in here, assuming I can get that far, I could actually melee a couple of those. So I think I'm going to try moving the infantry first. Again, it's a risky move, but activating the cav is easier next, so I'll do that. You know, looking at it, I just can't get those infantry out of there any easy way. The crossbowmen can't go out without getting shot at. This guy can't attack anything valuable without moving this guy first. This guy can't swing around there. My horses are in the way. I got it too clustered. I think I'm going to have to do another charge. I'm going to go for the center again and see what I can break. Well, the knights attacked, and not to a great effect, not like before. They killed a couple of units, but they also took some losses. They're a little disordered. Then the infantry went in and attacked, and they killed a unit and are a little disordered. The knights got another initiative. Saladin considered whether or not to try to interrupt or trump, but he chose not to. So we'll see. That decision has to be made before the die roll the phasing players make. So now the knights are going to get another chance to hit, but they've got a disordered unit that they want to rally, and this force, while it's getting smaller, is still kind of scary. So now the initiative swung back, and this is a hard choice. No, it's not. He's going to move these. He lost his leader, which is worth 2 more points. Let's look at the casualty total. Right now, the Knights have pushed through here, kind of separated by this, which is going to be a weakness in their position. And they also have this hole in the back, which can certainly be exploited, but maybe not as heavily because it's harder to maneuver inside of it. But those lights are really, really tough in terms of what they can do running and damaging. Now, if we look here, though, we're up to 30 and 4 for the Crusaders. Those 4 for the Crusaders are not permanent. It's going to be real tough to kill Crusader units. I can see them. I'm beginning to see, because there's so few of them, unless you surround them, it's going to be tough to cause an actual elimination. And then there's few enough that most of them can rally back here. So that could be a problem. We'll see how that works out. I don't think that's going to be the issue. But now I'm going to take an activation over here on the... what are these? These are Seljuks. All right. And it's game over. One more turn by those light horsemen. And they just swept around, curving around behind every unit they could, shooting and leaving, and they wiped out the entirety of the stack. Both leaders are dead. 2 knights gone, 1 man-at-arms gone. Brings them to 19 when you count all these retired units. I don't know how much I could have done to save them. They say the game's balanced in that this one's imbalanced in favor of the Franks or the Crusaders. I don't buy it. But maybe I'm just dumb. You know, maybe I'm missing something key here, but I see no way. Of course, I'm sure that there are more tactically adept people, but I really don't see a way to beat those numbers. Anyway, I had fun. I definitely saw a lot more staying power for the Knights. I thought that they wouldn't be able to be killed the way they were eventually. And that's kind of, it is kind of unlikely. I mean, even a disordered knight being shot at best, only 9s kill him. Because at best, you have a -1. At best, with the horse archers. But still, between the knights, the leaders, and the men-at-arms are not that hard to shoot. So, you know, what would have happened if, say, those knights ended up back here? Because the leaders would still probably be dead. It's almost a guarantee if you wipe out, if you send the army into retirement. It's going to be a much tougher job with whoever replaces Baldwin. And a much tougher job. Because you don't have that extra pluses. And what did I use? I used 1 unit. The rest of this didn't even come into play. Now granted, there's only one thing like that unit, another light cav unit. Those mediums and even the heavies, I don't think they could stand up against it. That's why I didn't bring them in. I just concentrated with the light cav and just kept firing and firing and firing. And certainly a toll was taken. I mean, that's a lot of light cav gone. But it's over. And I think I'm going to take another little break from this one and probably play Puerto Rico. Part of me kind of wants to play something a little bit heavier, but I think getting another box out of my way, especially when I'm gaining more down here, is probably a good move for at least my sanity, rather than you know, something that's going to be up maybe as long as this whole series has been up, because these are quick battles. All right, I'm going to send this one up.